Hello friends, today we will try to know about the reading and reading skills. Our main concern is meaning and true concept of reading, importance of reading skills, characteristics of reading, objectives of teaching reading skills, types of reading, phrases and activities, techniques to increase reading speed, and almost all the main points which are necessary for a meaningful reading skills. First of all, let's try to find out what is reading. Just looking at the material and reading without understanding is not a meaningful reading. In fact, the true reading is understanding the meaning and message of the given text and material. Reading without understanding is not reading at all. In fact, the meaningful reading is understanding the hidden and contextual information, not only the superficial details. It means if we just read out the material without understanding its message and its main concerns, then that is not the reading. In other words, reading skill is the ability to look at and understand the text on paper, wall, signboard, computer, mobile, or TV screen, or any other reading material is real reading skill. The question is, what are the main characteristics of reading skill? The main characteristics of reading are such as text-based, purposeful, requires cognitive skill, reading can be oral or silent, reading can be done at varied speed. The quite basic characteristic is the textual base. Mean for reading there should be a text. Without text, reading is not possible. Second point, there should be a purpose for reading the text. Means the text should be based on purpose. A purpose can be entertainment or can be getting information. Mostly in schools and colleges we do reading for learning. In offices for knowledge, and at home generally people do for getting entertainment. Reading requires cognitive skills. Means a good reader should know the exact meaning of words and phrases along with the contextual meanings. Point 4. Reading can be done oral or silent according to the requirement. If you are asked to read out some material in the classroom, then here oral reading is required. And if in the classroom you are asked to find out the answer of some given questions from the given text, then here silent reading is required. Fifth characteristic of reading is the required speed. By reading, what the speed should be. It depends on two main things, on material and on the audience. Means if you are reading some instructions or some recipe, your speed should be low. And if you are reading a story, your speed shouldn't be low, but it should be as required. Speed also concerned with the mental level of the audience. If you are reading before junior classes, your speed definitely should be slow. And if you are reading before the higher classes, it should be as required. So friends, the main characteristics of reading skill are text, purpose, required cognitive skills. Reading can be oral or silent as it is required. For reading, one should be aware of the importance of reading skills. Mostly reading is done at school and colleges. It is a source of learning and education. Reading educates the people by telling them the realities and things around them. It is a source of information and knowledge. It informs the people about the happenings, incidents, and accidents around the world. Third importance of reading skill is that it enhances the vocabulary. As long as you go through the details, you go on studies and reading, your vocabulary boost up, it keeps on adding in your vocabulary. Point 4. It develops reading, writing and speaking skill. No doubt, as long as we go on reading the details, our writing becomes more effective and speaking becomes more impressive. By reading, not only we improves our reading skills but also we improve our speaking and writing caliber. Point 5th, reading develops our mental level. By reading, our mental abilities and capabilities brought up. By reading, our mind gets the new information and get aware about the realities around us, and it keeps on changing. Point 6. Reading develops creativity. By reading, new creative ideas keep coming in our mind and our mental creativity keeps on developing. For example, when we read few stories or poems, after reading them, we can write a more better poem or more better story than before. Point 7. Reading is a very good source of entertainment. Definitely. Details about the happenings and information about the world and its concernings entertain us. And it gives a new refreshing effect to our eyes and mind. So in short, reading is a source of learning and education. It is a source of information and knowledge. It enhances the vocabulary. It develops reading, writing and speaking skills. It develops mental level. It develops creativity. It is a good source of entertainment. Friends, hopefully you better understood the importance of reading. Now we are going to study about the types of reading. Types of reading are varied on the basis of voice, reader and understanding. Means reading depends on the voice of the reader and on the understanding level of the listener. Types of reading are given just like model reading, reading aloud, silent reading, intensive reading, extensive reading and supplementary reading. In model reading, reading is done by the teacher who reads the material loudly with correct pronunciation and expresses the material with its body language. Reading aloud is done by the teacher or by a student. A poem, a story, an essay, or any given details can be read loudly in the class by the teacher or by the students. When reading loudly is done by the student in the class, the teacher keeps on explaining the difficult phrases and words meanings and also correct the pronunciation. Point 3. Silent reading. Silent reading is generally done by the mature students. It is done for getting some details and information about the given theoretical questions. In libraries, silent reading is recommended so the other students can't be disturbed. It is done for information as well as for entertainment. Point 4 is intensive reading. Intensive reading is to read out the details minutely. Means one should be aware about the grammatic schemes used in the details, the words, phrases and all the contextual meaning of the words and phrases also. In intensive reading, the reader shouldn't be only aware about the superficial meaning of the material but also the hidden meaning and realities of the material. Point 4. Extensive reading. Extensive reading is generally done superficially. Just like we read out some stories or any news from the newspaper to see it superficially, without understanding the hidden meaning, the grammatic scheme or contextual meaning of the material. And we just read out the details superficially. This is the extensive reading. Point 6. Supplementary reading. Supplementary reading is quite a different type of reading. In supplementary reading, we read the material superficially along with its details, grammatic scheme, and its contextual meanings. Means if we combine the spirit of intensive reading and extensive reading, it will become the supplementary reading in fact. In other words, in supplementary reading, a reader should grip the general idea, central idea, its summary, along with the contextual meaning and dramatic scheme. What are the main activities necessary for the effective reading? Whether they are required before reading or after reading. Let's understand it. Activities necessary for effective reading are such as pre-reading activities, while reading activities, and post-reading activities. Pre-reading activities are those activities which we do before reading, means recapitulation or introducing the topic, or you can ask few questions about the topic and its concerns. While reading activities are those activities which are generally done during the reading, just like asking few questions about the reading material and checking the pronunciation and asking the meanings of difficult words and phrases. Post-reading activities are done after the completion of reading. On completing the reading, the teacher can ask few questions about the reading material. She can ask for summarizing the material. She can ask to mention the main points. She can ask to explain any given point. She can ask to write down a detailed note or short note on the read material. Friends, now we are discussing what are the techniques to improve the reading speed. Or you can say how to improve the reading speed. The first main point is phrasing, then skimming, scanning, keyword reading, and listening other readers. Phrasing. Phrasing means to understand the complete sentence as a whole phrase, not word by word. Just like the phrase, go through the details. Here the word go, through, and details are separate, but collectively they are giving a particular meaning, and we have to grip that particular meaning. This is called the phrasing. So for fast reading, it's important to know the meaning of a complete phrase. Point 2 is the skimming. Skimming means to understand the central idea, the general view, or to summarize the given detail without going into depth and without understanding the grammatic scheme or contextual meaning is the skimming. Point 3 is scanning. Scanning is to find out the required material or required details. For example, if someone is given to find out the date of birth or date of death of any given personality, then he will scan the material and will fastly approach the required details. Keyword reading is a good technique to improve the reading speed and reading skill. Friends, keywords are given before the details. When someone read the given keywords, he intricates his mental complexities and it makes his reading fast and easy. Another important technique to improve the reading speed is listening other readers. When someone listens other readers, their way of speaking, their way of delivering the words and phrases, their pronunciation, it intricates his many complexities of the language and it makes his skill better. Okay friends, this was our lecture of today. Hopefully you learn enough and you gain enough information about the reading skills. We are completing the video by a message. A book is a dream that you hold in your hands. And today a reader is tomorrow a leader. Thanks for watching the video.